Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 681. Now, in today's episode, we are talking about how we can react calmly when people are trying to provoke us. We live in a crazy world. Now, this is actually going to be a podcast episode, which will be in a couple of weeks. But weirdly enough, there was the Oscars. Will Smith went a little bit kind of crazy in many different ways, being provoked and so on like that. And whoever's right or wrong, I don't really care. But it's weird that I set up the stream just before, and then it happened like 5 or 6 hours later. So a bit of a synchronicity maybe, but whatever it is, look, there are people out there in the world who will provoke us. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, it's more about your reaction, right? Because the interesting thing I like to think about most is this: other people's opinions are not your business. And also, if other people are doing certain things, yet we are reacting to it, we must take responsibility not for their actions, but for our reactions. You see, only we react, right? If someone were to bop me on the head, and then would I be rightly get angry? Maybe, but it's me reacting to the experience. And I believe that we should have more choice over how we react to situations. I really believe that. You do not want to be controlled by other people, whether it be the news, the media, whether it be the politics, whether it be the neighbor down the road, whether it be your partner. Maybe you're stressed at work and then you come home and then something happens and then suddenly you react in a certain way. It doesn't matter the context. It just happens all the time. And the more you know about how to control your mind, your body, your feelings, your actions and reactions will give you freedom. So I'm going to give you 2 ideas and even a process, like a little mini process that you can practice now. With this, I want us to first start with intentions. Sometimes people are saying things to us and it's not even about us. It's their own stuff that they are projecting onto us. Sometimes, for example, if they are, let's take the bully mentality, right? Now, the bully mentality and the behavior is absolutely horrible, but most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, that bully was once bullied in some way. So they're projecting the same old story and experience in their life. For example, as well, if someone has anger issues or they're maybe projecting and saying, look, who are you to do this? Who are you to go for your dream? And if you react and go, well, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm anxious now, I'm worried. Maybe they're projecting their own limiting beliefs onto your reality. So remember, this is your reality, and it's up to you as to how you react to it. So I want to show you how you can do just that, right? We're going to do a little mini process with one another, okay? It's going to be very, very simple, very, very easy. I'm going to put a little bit of music to this as well to make it nice and gentle. But when we think about how we react, we are going to have an association to that person, especially over time. Let's just say someone's been saying the same old story. Every time we think of that person, we get anxious, we get worried, we get angry, we get frustrated. Well, your brain has coded that person as an association that you should react in a certain way, that you should have these feelings. But it is simply a coded response that your mind has become hypnotized, has developed and created this neurological association that makes you feel bad or fill in the gap for the emotion that you feel based on the quality of association you have around that person. So recognize that. That's what I want you to really think about as we do this mini little process, okay? So with that, if you can, go ahead and close your eyes. If you're driving or doing anything, press stop. Don't get into the process. It's not even a hypnosis or anything like that, but it's good to have your attention on the things that need to be had attention on when it comes to changing your reaction. So, there's what I want you to think about. Maybe the best time to change how you react is before the situation. So think about this as a teachable unconscious process that will allow you to feel more relaxed in the future when you're around that person. So let's just say if you have someone, maybe it's a boss, maybe we have someone who just irritates us, makes us angry, makes us stressful. Maybe it's someone that we no longer even in our life. Maybe they've passed on, maybe they're in a different country, maybe they're just not in your reality anymore, but you still have an association. This will still work. So what I want you to do with your eyes closed, I want you just to consider how you symbolically represent that person. Now, you may have an image of them. You may see it crystal clear. It may be a little bit vague, but notice how you visually consider that person in your mind. Maybe that's in like life size, maybe it's bigger than life size, maybe it's just a little bit in front of you, maybe it's far away, whatever it is. Notice your representation of that person that causes you to react in a stress state. Whatever the emotion, the stressed state. Now, as you consider that, I want you to now notice, are there any sounds around that? Maybe it's their voice. Maybe it's your internal dialogue. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm so frustrated. Whatever it is, notice the visual. In other words, the images, notice the sounds, and as you notice the sounds, notice how you feel. Now, the chances are it's going to be in a more stressed state because this person is coded with the association of I don't react calmly around them. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine that image of that person and imagine making that image black and white for a moment. So if it was really bright colored or just colored, make it just black and white. And as you make it black and white, now take that image and just shrink it in half the size. So you're almost shrinking that person to just half the size that they were in that moment. And I want you to turn down the sounds just for a while. And as you turn down the sounds and make that image of them smaller and smaller and smaller, maybe the size of a stamp, okay? They're just on the size of the stamp, is so small, and then just send it further and further away from you. Now, notice how you feel differently. If you're like most people, those feelings will begin to diminish, because once you change the association and the representation of that person and make it smaller, black and white, even changing their voice, if you want to make it a little bit humorous, go ahead and imagine their voice, which used to irritate you or used to make you react in a stress state, make their voice in maybe Donald Duck, maybe Mickey Mouse, maybe a high-pitched sound, something silly, something funny. So every time they're speaking to you right now in this representation, their voice speaks in this funny accent, this funny voice, this funny tone, and just notice how it just becomes silly. And as you notice that, your unconscious mind can remember this, because I'm always speaking to your unconscious, and your unconscious mind can, if you feel this is a good thing to do, if this is a good thing for you, you feel, yeah, I'd love it to be this way. You can always modify it. You can make it a little bit bigger, bring back some color, maybe take away the voice, whatever it is for you. This, and the reason why I say if this is just however you want it, because to me, this is the freedom of choice. This is how you can choose to react. This is how you can choose to experience any association. So make the adjustments which suit your reaction. So every time you begin to think of that person, you're going to start to see them in this different way. So make it small, make it like black and white or dark, make it farther away. This is the freedom and the choice in your mind. Now, let's go one step deeper. putting that image aside, I want you, and here's a more of a visual experience, it's like a part 2 of this. I want you to imagine in your mind that person, but this time with you in a scenario, okay? So there's you there, you're looking at that person. Where it's crystal clear, it doesn't matter. Whatever you get, you get. And as you notice that person give you that criticism or doing whatever they do, whatever they say, or how they look, even if you've modified it still, what I want you to do is notice how this you can also begin to understand from a separated, because we're looking at this picture, what that person is really saying. What is the intention there, like I said in the beginning? Is it their stuff? Is it your stuff? It could be anything. But notice that their communication, which has caused you to react in that way, doesn't have to be the case once you understand the intention. So imagine, what is the intention as to why they are like they are, doing what they're doing? And realize maybe it's nothing even about you, right? It's not even about you. You might be in the situation, but it's their observation of their story, their subjective reality. Then, notice how this you in that scenario can choose how you react. And the reason why I want you to see yourself is we're pre-teaching the unconscious mind to react in a way that you choose. For when you go there in the mind, you go there in the body. So see this you reacting the way you want. Maybe it's just like, it just goes straight around you, doesn't hit you anymore. It's just like water off a duck's back. Just notice how you're protected, how this you can just react calmly, how this you can be peaceful, to realize that it's not even about you at times, to realize that this you over there is in control of your mind, that this you has the ability to choose how you want to act and react. So notice this you beginning to act and react that serves you, that gives you the ability, the freedom to have the thoughts that you want, the feelings you want, and the actions and the reactions that whatever you desire, because you can do this. And practice this. You can do this in many scenarios. And the reason why I want you to practice this over a number of times, because you're literally coding your brain differently. The neurological boundaries, the neurological synapse, all of that stuff. When you begin to see that person in a certain way, like smaller and smaller, black and white, different sounds, different feelings, you're telling your brain that this is the new code. In the latter example, when you see yourself acting in the way that you choose, you're pre-teaching your unconscious mind that should this happen in the future, you will act in this way. It's the reverse anxiety system. Anxiety is focusing on all the worst case scenarios. Now you are rehearsing in your mind a new way of how you will act and react. So see yourself being powerfully calm, being the peaceful warrior, being centered, being like, that's their stuff, not my stuff. I'm in control of my mind. Whatever's theirs is theirs. Whatever mine is mine. I'm in control of my mind and body because I am powerful, and I don't have to go lower to their energy. I don't have to match their energy. In fact, I can be the example of what can be done, because you never know. You might actually give them permission to do the same thing. Sometimes they didn't know. Maybe you doing so will allow them to do just that. So notice that. Keep rehearsing it in your mind, getting bigger, better, and stronger. See that person as you practice this throughout the days. You only have to do this a few times usually. Just changing the inner images of your unconscious mind. For when you do, you will begin to act and react in a way that you desire. That's it. So you can always re-listen to that again. But here's the thing, as we break it down just on a conscious level, your unconscious mind is coded. to act and react even to a certain way. You will see that person, and you do this for everything. That's why you know what you like when it comes to certain foods and foods that you don't like. Your body has an association, a neuroassociation, and that neuroassociation, if there's an intensity to it, will have meaning. And your meaning will mean that you will have to react in a way. If it's someone else who doesn't, then you don't react. But if that had meaning because of the representation in your mind, when you change the meaning, you change the representation and therefore the coding of the body. So however you coded it, change it, make it smaller, make it further away. You can send it as far away as you want. You can change the voices, change the feelings. That means you just have control. And the latter one, once again, is pre-teaching your unconscious mind. I have let go of phobia. I'm not saying you should do this, but I've used that process to let go of phobias just like that. Because we're getting the unconscious mind to learn a new strategy. So I hope you got value from this smaller episode than usual, because I want to go straight into that process. But remember, what yours is yours, what theirs is theirs. Their opinions of you don't have to be your reality. And you can choose how you want to act and react in a way that serves you. You have the choice, you have the freedom, and of course, if you ever need more help in any way, you can go ahead and download the free hypnosis app, and you get all of these episodes, 681 free episodes, and that means there's over 100 free hypnosis sessions in the app. You can also unlock the whole app for a one-time payment at the moment, so go ahead and do that if you want to support the show. Just unlock it all, and that means you help me with my mission of helping more people, but on top of that, you're getting the extra value of getting all the audios in there in the day, in the night, and of course, if you want to go a little bit further, feel free to go ahead and rate and review, because I really believe the more help we need more help in the world. I want to be able to help people. That's why there's over 300 and probably 350 free. Is that right? Yeah, it must be 300 or so, 350 hours of free self-development, conscious and unconscious. I'm here to support you. I've been in bad places. I used to never feel enough, good enough, deserving, or capable. That's just how I used to feel. I let it go, and it's my mission to help people. We've done over 12 million downloads for free, and I want to keep building that up to get to the 24, to get to the 100, all of that stuff, and that means we can support so many people in every single way. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to speaking to you on a future one. Many thanks, and goodbye.